Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Reality Game Forum Survivor podcast. I am Patrick. Colin is out tonight with some kind of AIDS or something. With me, I have Ty.
Prince Ty. You gotta call me my
The
full
Prince.
title. Colin always calls me by my full title.
Okay.
I'm not having a good evening now. This is terrible.
The one, the only,
Not
the Prince
doing
Ty. We have Alex Cash.
If Prince Ty is going to be Prince Ty, I insist you call me Alex Cash Money.
Alex Cash Money. Okay. Steven, do you have a particular title?
Not unless you want to call me one.
Well, Steven's here, along with...
Steven, the guy who almost got outsmarted by that Sherlock. And good evening, because I can't not do my good evening.
Of course. Good evening. The spicy Latino flavor, Alicia.
Oh, it's my turn to finally say hello?
Yeah.
Oh! It's not like her fourth billing.
I'm saving the best couple for last.
Oh, this is a mess. Are we actually doing this intro? We should probably do it over.
I hear an ambulance in the background, and I think it's an omen.
I think this intro is the greatest one ever. We've got Alicia. She didn't say her hey y'all.
I know.
And Jack.
Hey there.
Can we pull the listeners and see how many are still listening and how many have now exited out of our podcast?
Hey, it shows personality.
I think we've lost everyone.
Anyway, so let's start with tonight's Survivor episode when we get to the aftermath of Cass flipping and Spencer being pissed off. Ty, what's the best way to handle those situations when someone flips and
Just say nothing.
Say nothing.
Just say nothing that night, because I mean, I can understand where Spencer would be coming from, and I'm saying you shouldn't say anything, but I'm sure if I was in that position, I'd be doing the same thing Spencer would, because I like Spencer because he's a smartass, and smartasses don't keep their mouths shut in that situation. So that's what happened there. He just couldn't help but express his disdain, and particularly with someone like Cass, who supposedly is such a free agent, despite the fact that she's pretty much decided the game and gave it to LJ. Congratulations to him again. But, it's best just to let be. Don't say anything. I think Tasha played it well. I mean, not that it's doing her any good at this point, because,
At least it wasn't like some kind of after-tribal blow-up, like...
Sure. I mean, it could have been like Russell. I mean, Russell would have just, tried to throw her in the fire.
WWRHD. What would Russell Hantz do?
Exactly. But, that's... I don't know. I don't believe in engaging in such an emotional period. I don't think it does anyone any good. And particularly because Cass is proven to be such a needy person, to the degree that she needs to feel like she's number one, even if she was in the top three prior to doing all this stupid shit.
Steven, you love Cass. Is she a needy person?
I love her as a character, yes, but I think she does come off as needy, in a sense that, she wants to be the queen bitch, and if people aren't making her feel like the queen bitch, she's gonna tell them.
Is she a shitty Survivor player?
Absolutely.
Does anyone disagree with that? Or see any validity in anything she's done up to this point? Or,
Well, I mean, you can't... Not her whole game has been shitty, just once it hit the merge.
Well, I think Spencer said it best when she said, I had to go with my gut, or something about that, and he said, yeah, it's the only thing you're playing with, she's not using her brain. I think is what he was getting at.
Yes, that was well said by him.
Yeah. Anyway, so we get to the reward challenge, and Alicia, what did you think of the challenge? I thought it was a fun one.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I feel like it was going to inevitably come down to the puzzle. I didn't really think it was complex, like the physical part, that anyone was going to struggle and some team was going to pull ahead. But it was still a neat concept.
Now, if Jatia was still there, one of those teams would still be out there.
She would have somehow, fallen through that first net seesaw.
Yeah, she would be stuck in that net right now, still.
Jatia is the mole.
I would imagine that if she was on that net, then the other 4 people would somehow manage to tip the balance while she was on the other side, and she would get flung through the air, and it would be hilarious.
That could have been their strategy. I mean,
Like,
catapult her to the beach.
Pants.
But they do the Outback Steakhouse thing again, which made me really want a steak tonight, and also one of those margaritas. That looks really delicious. And the first thing that popped into my head was Heroes vs. Villains, because that's the last time they did that, if I remember right. And the clue. No one was looking for the clue.
People typically look for the clue in downtime or, like on the slide. You're not going to, actively tromp around this Outback Steakhouse thing, trying to spot a clue. But the one thing about how the clue was hidden is I really hope those napkins were randomly distributed for fairness' sake.
I think it's how they
yell production riggage.
Right? Because they don't production doesn't tell them you sit here, you sit here, you sit here,
Yeah, they said sit anywhere.
They tell them where to sit at tribal council and where to stand at the challenges, but dinner time, it's your game, I bet.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny how, I mean, luckily no one was watching, but it literally fell into his lap, Spencer's lap.
Yeah.
And he got lucky, and God, I really want that steak. But did Ty or anyone, did you find it interesting there was no game talk, or they didn't show any about, because usually when they split up these people, there's some kind of game talk going on either at the beach or at the reward.
Well, I mean, remind me, it was besides Spencer.
Very much like a house divided. There was really no game talk because
exactly.
there was there was Morgan, Jeremiah, and Spencer from one alliance, and Jeffra and LJ from the other.
Yeah.
Those 3 convinced the 2 to come over, and it just,
And the beauties were disjointed to begin with, because, after the initial vote that they had, nobody trusted Jeremiah on that tribe, and Morgan was on the outs with LJ, and then they went and voted out Alexis, which made those 2 distrust the other 2 even more. And considering Spencer was the target that they were all worried about before the challenge started, it made sense that nobody talked about anything, they just ate. And didn't really socialize much. And
I wonder if they had what Don Meehan would say, Diarrhea City, afterwards. That always just cracks me up. I can't help but not think about Don talking about diarrhea with every reward.
Oh, poor Don.
Oh, gross. Steven, your opinions on these older ladies. Anyways, so I guess most of the episode, or a lot of it, was developed on finding this idol, which Spencer goes out in the rain, and he is looking for the idol, and we have Ninja Woo. Jack, let's hear your take on Ninja Woo.
Every time I see Will on the screen, I just get happy because I know he's really happy that he's out there. And you see so many people go on Survivor and get are super miserable and then quit. And then Woo is just having the time of his life, just enjoying the adventure, enjoying competition. And I don't understand how he has that much energy and that enthusiasm when they're so deprived of food and so rained upon, but I really enjoyed seeing him display his ninja skills and hiding in the bushes and sprinting around the island.
Now, would you have done anything different, or just sat there spied on him while he possibly found the idol?
I think one thing that he did that was possibly a mistake was when he got the clue from Spencer, he should have just yelled for someone to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he doesn't leave Spencer alone. Spencer ended up not finding it, but that's one thing that he could have...
Didn't Spencer chase him down?
Yeah,
Spencer also played it terribly. By chasing him down instead of, looking for the fucking thing. I'm sure if everybody else was following him, that even his people would have been like, we should probably go see what's going on, and would have gone and done that. So that was really terribly played by both of them.
Like I said it last week, I feel like this is the most openly transparent with game of Survivor, where everyone knows where everyone stands, and then we have everyone has this idol clue, and they're all looking for it for their own side and whatnot.
Sure. This is what happens when none of the players are all that good.
There's no secrets. Like there's no secrets going on here.
No, this is a very middle of the road game. There are no complex personalities,
and yet it still manages to be a damn good season.
Oh, yeah, it's very entertaining.
I think everyone seems much more human this season. Like, people are cheering at Tribal Council. There's, like, facial emotions that you normally don't see. Everyone's up in... So that's Morgan, of course. Like, up and energetic. They just seem more... It's definitely not polished, but
There's also really not that, like, one huge villain that's getting all this crazy screen time and everyone's, like, loving to hate him.
The closest I'd say is Tony.
Yeah, but even Tony has kind of turned over a new, happier, let's go team leaf. And so you're kind of left with a bunch of interesting characters that aren't all hogging the spotlight a la, like, Philip.
That's, a lot of the editing is pretty balanced, except for, or not Jatia. Tasha was robbed of a confessional, but as Stephen pointed out, but the idol hunt and freaking cast looking away. She had one job to watch Spencer.
You had one job, Cass.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
let's just say that I gasped in shock when Cass did something for me. I didn't expect that. Said no one ever. No one.
I'm just interested in seeing how it's going to affect her game long term. If and when Spencer pulls out the idol and they're all like, what the hell, Cass? You were watching him.
Well, what are they supposed to do in these situations? Do everyone just give up and they're like, oh, well, we couldn't find it, or are they still looking? What's going on that we don't see?
I don't know. Nobody else has found anything.
Well, maybe
they're still continuing to look.
I don't know, but did anyone also think it was awkward that Spencer, like, grabbed it and then, like, casually walked away? Like, doesn't that indicate,
wouldn't that...
I'm good to go?
Yeah, I would have kept digging and just... What else are you going to do, right?
Well, he may have. I mean, who knows? They showed him walking away and stuffing it in his pants, but who knows what happened between then and the confessional where he talks about it.
He may have found another place to fake dig for a while.
He may.
We don't know.
True.
What I found interesting about the whole thing is that it wasn't the special idol, it was just another regular idol. So where the fuck is the other one?
Yeah, the
We don't know where the title fairy idol is.
Jeff Probst explicitly said it was going to be released at Merge.
Yeah.
Maybe...
maybe there's just no... Maybe there's no clue.
Maybe you have to buy it with an auction clue.
You know, kind of my thinking, though, is I think the preview that they did was filmed before they filmed this season. And maybe they came to their senses and were like, you know what? We've seen it done before, and it was an awful idea, and they pulled it.
At the merge, they had a note that says an idol with special powers.
That's true. Maybe there's
or maybe, just maybe, they had the option of going for it, but had to sit through a Medea movie.
Oh, God.
Thus nobody has it.
Oh my god.
That just,
I think that should be an endurance challenge in itself, Kai.
Yes.
How many Medea movies can you sit through?
How many times can you hear, oh my god?
well,
Poor Gilligan.
Well, I mean, this would not be out of character. They've already made the cast of Nicaragua and South Pacific sit through
Terrible
Gulliver's
movies.
Travels and Jack and Jill's
Sophie's reactions to Jack and Jill was the best. She was...
Oh my god. And then Coach saying, oh yeah, great movie. Oh.
You know, I don't mind the ad placement and everything. This
No.
show's in its, what is this, season 28?
Yeah.
It's in its 28th season, and they gotta keep costs down or whatever, so...
And this episode was sponsored by Marshalls.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And
Because
Outback
it's so
Steakhouse.
unpredictable.
Fabulously unpredictable.
Oh, okay.
I expect to receive a free shirt in the mail now.
You should. And it was also brought to you by, what was it, Alex? The commercial?
Oh yeah.
Yes, Beggin' Poppin' Party Poppers, that's it. Beggin' Party Poppers, the only dog treat that comes with a special dog treat launcher.
Oh, that was a good little
It was a good little plug.
place.
Yeah, you at Beggin' Strips out there that are listening, we expect to check in the mail
Absolutely.
Please.
Here's 2 cents.
You
Otis,
can launch it directly to us.
Otis gives his puppy endorsement to it. So, yeah, that's a strong endorsement.
Yes. Yes, it is.
I'll be the actor playing Otis. Woof.
Gotta be louder.
He's sitting right beside me. Okay, so that got me all. Okay, so we get to that immunity challenge. That looked like it was painful.
Ugh.
I mean, how long would anyone last in that? Like,
Well, Coach would have lasted as long as possible and then spraying fucking
Yeah.
girl.
Like falls.
I don't know. I just thought the
I
only.
just
And then he
want
sent him-
balance, so anything with balance, I'm fucked, which seems to be, like, a lot of the challenges in Survivor.
Yeah.
I think
Well-
you need strong calves because you're standing on your tippy toes
Yeah.
in order to keep your head firm. So yeah, you need calves.
You
for
need.
that.
I think the most important thing, and Jeff Probst says that you need to dig deep, or whatever.
Well, that's what Sierra did, and she won immunity last
Well,
week.
the most important thing is who needs it the most, and those are the people that lasted the longest,
Yes.
pretty much. So, yeah, congratulations, Spencer. That looked very painful after the
Yes.
reactions when people were getting down.
Ugh.
I think he probably needed it. Or it was
Yes.
good for him to have.
Oh, he did because he had the idol, but I mean,
Well,
yeah.
now he's got the idol, and he's not voted off, so...
Exactly.
Um,
Good episode for Spencer.
but but we get to the beach, and they're talking about who to vote off. Let me see. Jack, do you think they made the right decision if they wanted to go with Plan A with Morgan?
It has its pros and cons because we're on the right track with saying that if they did have the idol, Morgan would probably be the least likely person that they would want to play it on. But then they also didn't vote out someone who's a potential threat in the game, like Tasha. So
What I didn't like was the fact that they were like, they used the word deserve to be here.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's always.
I always hate it when people say, "Oh, you're the most deserving." Well, if they're no.
Well, who cares?
Yeah,
if he sits in the
I hate it when they talk about deserving. I hate it when people say that they're jealous of me because I'm cuter than them.
They're
I hate
just
it when
haters.
people's actions
That was
are
pretty
attributed to estrogen. There was a
Okay,
lot of
to
shit
be
talking
fair,
in this
though,
episode.
Would really, if you're given the choice between being cute
Yeah.
and being ugly, would you really?
If those are your choices, yeah.
Come on.
Dude.
Come on.
I mean, even I would take those tits, and I'm mad.
What happened to the Morgan that?
Perfect.
What happened to the Morgan on day one that came out with that lie and was there?
I kind of liked her as just a subtle, somewhat bitchy presence every once in a while, but I kind of wish she had been one of those people who they dragged all the way to the Final Four or 3 and bumblefucked and won the final immunity somehow.
That would have been hilarious. Random third place from Morgan.
She turned into someone with maybe a little bit of promise with her lie about her choice or whatever
Yeah.
to Angie from season 20 or from 25
Philippines.
Cookies.
I
I miss her
God.
too.
Yeah.
forgot about her.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
they have very similar assets. So,
That they
anyways,
do. That they
That's
do.
very true.
They got a lot of personality.
I guess their other option was Tasha. They could have voted off Jeremiah, who could have beat. I don't know. He's maybe.
I would have thought they would go for Jeremiah to the same
Yeah.
degree that I don't think Spencer and Tasha are burning an idol for Jeremiah, and at the same time, he's also a bigger threat than Morgan. So you would have had the same exact thing. I mean, to be fair, to go back to the whole deserving bit, I hate when they use the term more deserving, but if you think of it this way, if you're starving and you have the choice, all things being equal, even if they're not completely equal, but again, you're starving, and, not maybe necessarily thinking entirely just on emotion, strategic logic. If somebody's not doing shit and is a bitch, I mean, deserving doesn't come into it, but if I like someone better, I might possibly keep them around if I don't think it's going to fuck me, which, at this particular point, even if Spencer plays his idol, that saves them, what, one more round? And if I'm LJ, for example, do I give a shit if I lose one of the people when I have that many numbers? No, not really. I don't care if Tony goes. I probably want Tony to go, because it's going to happen next episode where they start to break up or at least start talking about it. I mean, none of those players are that loyal long term, except for Wu. I think Wu would be more loyal long term to that fivesome, but I think the other two are too strategic for that. I don't know. Anyway, I rambled on too long there.
Sorry, I was watching something going on. Alicia knows. Yeah, I think Jeremiah might have been the smarter choice, just based on game and strategy and who you can beat and challenges. But I guess if there's some annoying person, why is Trish there?
Well, yeah.
The world may never know.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe LJ thinks she's sexy. Maybe it's more reciprocal than anything.
Oh my god.
I don't know.
Well, he did say something about sex appeal, so maybe the leather is what drives.
I didn't know he was that into horses.
Yeah.
LJ there are abs under the leather.
Way under there.
I heard that he was a bartender, not a horse trainer.
I was about to say horse whisperer, but then I realized, wait, he can't talk to Trish, so.
Well, I mean, if someone does several things, and one of them is Mactor, and one of them sounds somewhat legitimate, they're going to pick the more legitimate one to reduce the Mactor quotient, at least the visible one.
Also, can I just say that if we do have family visit this season, I'm so excited for when Danielle De Lorenzo comes trotting down the beach to LJ. It's going to be such a great reunion.
I thought her mom was Trish.
Yeah, well, she could come either to see her trainer, LJ, or her mom, Trish. So she has options.
What is with Boston?
Oh, that's fucked up.
It's all these horses are from Boston. Not to say Boston or anything. I'm just saying you have a high population of horses on Survivor.
Well, you'll notice that there is no letter R in the word nay.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That makes sense.
Indeed.
So we get to they show us it looked like a lame-ass attempt to get Cass back on Spencer's side. At least he tried.
I can't even. I mean, I think after Spencer's little, I don't even call it a blow-up, but I guess frustration at Cass. She didn't really have any incentive to go with him unless he had shown her the idol.
Yes, she did.
And if he had shown her the idol, then the plan would have had a chance of backfiring. So
it could. But listen, get Tosh, Cass, Spencer together. Say, look, we've got our 5. I've got this idol. We'll vote out Tony. The 3 original brains stick together. We're guaranteed final 3. What, like...
I'm not
here's
sure.
the thing. She's so stupid that she might have still given that up. She did basically give that up by voting Sarah.
She did. But this is an even better opportunity because they're 3, and then the other 2 are on the bottom.
Sure,
and they could have walked to the end, and she would have had a guaranteed spot, and she would have said, I made a huge move. It was visible, and like Spencer said, she came back and, didn't piss him off, and there's... I don't know. What... that was kind of what I was hoping for.
It was what I was hoping for, but I wasn't surprised when it didn't happen.
Yeah, because
Cass is really dumb.
Tony's side could have easily pulled the same argument that Spencer did at the beginning of the episode, where that's 5 jury votes you're not getting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If she had flipped back permanently, I think by declaring herself a free agent, she has backed herself into a corner, paradoxically, where she needs to keep being a free agent in order to piss everyone off equally, spread it around.
She needs to cut this free agent bullshit out, first of all.
Well, she's not a free agent anymore because they no longer need her in theory.
Yeah.
They no longer need her. They have 5. Now, if Tony fucks it up, then who knows? But
that's a strong possibility.
It is a strong possibility, but it is also entirely possible that preview is distraction. And they start talking about it now, but don't do it until after Spencer goes or somebody else goes.
Yeah.
I mean, it easily could be misdirection or foreshadowing for further down the line. I mean, there's that to be considered.
And also, I don't know, I'm going to chime in here, but I thought part of me was hoping that with Morgan not moving at all in camp, I was hoping that would somehow be foreshadowing to her winning immunity, because you didn't, as long as you didn't move, you would win, but unfortunately that wasn't meant to be.
Oh.
I really wish this would have been a water challenge where it could have just been, how long can you float? She would have won. She'd still be out there. She would still be out there, damn it.
She's got 2 buoys attached to the front of her chest.
She sure does. We'll never know if they're real because she never tried to play them. That's how it goes.
This is not a immunity
They are certainly a presence either way.
But let's move on to the Tribal Council. Like I said, this season it's so transparent. Everything's out in the open. Jeff Probst is calling out a line. You know, he knows who's aligned with who and can talk about it with them. It's all open in the air. And I think someone said something stupid.
Jeffra did. I forget what it was exactly, but
the links
in the chain, they're all the same.
and how they're all even.
Yeah, and I thought the stupid thing that she said was that there might be a power structure later, but right now there's not.
Yeah.
Well, that was also stupid.
They would cue the dramatic, like, oh my god, did she just say that music? You know.
Wait, does anyone know if Jeffra's a fan of the show?
She's a beauty queen. She was former Miss Teen Kentucky.
Okay, because that reminds me a lot of Amazon when Matt was like talking to Butch, I think, about like, oh, we're all linking the chain, and
oh god, I love Crazy Matt.
Yeah, basically they all just don't want free agent cast to flip and have an idol, played, or they're basically counting on the other side being stupid, which they weren't. And did anyone here expect Cass to flip?
No.
Nope.
I was hopeful, but not expecting.
Did anyone expect Spencer to play an idol for someone else?
No.
No.
I think. I mean, of course they don't show it, but I think if maybe he would have used it if Cass was flipping, because I'm sure if Cass was flipping, they would have had to have discussed all of this, and then he would have known who to play the idol on and could have done that, and then knocked one of them out. But actually, well, no.
Only if you brought Tosh in and made that final 3, they would have been sitting pretty.
Yeah, that would have been the thing to do. I'm not sure why that didn't happen.
But
late now.
We send off Morgan and hashtag Morgan's boobs.
Indeed.
Which I think we can all agree we'll miss.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They
were the special idol of this season.
just reminds me of the Chappelle Show skit. Like, you have some fabulous New York boobs.
Yes.
Way to go, Morgan. Your Survivor Award is for having great boobs.
Indeed.
Hey, that's still a pretty good accomplishment, I think.
Hey, that's a great accomplishment. She doesn't have to do anything in life, apparently.
She sure doesn't.
That was pretty interesting when she said that. Like, yeah, I'm not used to doing much.
Oh, you can tell people do stuff for her.
Right.
She's very privileged in.
She needs to check her privilege.
People treat her really nicely and give her all these ices.
It's just it kind of reminds me of Colton, except for Colton, everyone did stuff for him because he had money. Like his maid.
Yeah, his housekeeper that he considers part of his family.
Yeah, his housekeeper.
A paid member of his family.
His black friend that he employs. Yeah. Anyways, so Morgan goes. It wasn't. I don't think anything was taken away except for a number for that side and any potential for that. But
yeah.
We have a new segment that we're going to introduce. Well, not a segment. I don't know. Whatever. Alicia is going to talk to us about Survivor buff fashion.
Yes. This was inspired by, I guess I was observing today, and I was noticing that a lot of the girls were wearing their buffs on their head, like as a bandana or like a hair wrap, when normally a lot of the girls are wearing the bandanas or as like the buffs as a skirt or like a cute little top to go over their swimsuit. And so I decided that I wanted to put the buff that I have on top of my head and see how it looks. And I feel like it looks a little more ridiculous than it would as like a cute little top. So I wanted to see how everyone would like utilize their buff if they had it.
Well,
Whether it would be like
first of all, you have to give Morgan a pass because I don't think they would fit around.
That's fair.
Stretch the buff too much. It just.
I mean, you could wrap it around one.
Yeah.
a little boob hammock.
All right, Alicia, the floor is yours. Sorry.
Okay, I think that if I had the buff, I would want to wear it as a top because it would be super cute and it would like, I don't know, it would like cover up everything that needed to be covered up, but I would still look very stylish and I would have an extra shirt and possible warmth if it was cold. And who's next? Let's see. What about Alex Cash? How would you wear your #Survivor buff?
Well, if I had the torso for it, I would wear it as a top once, just for the cross-dressing laughs. But other than that, if I wanted, I would probably wear it as a headband most of the time. But if I wanted to get a little unconventional, leg warmers.
Oh.
Or just the one leg warmer.
That's pretty spiffy.
Stylish.
It could also, if you like shoved it down, it could be like an anklet.
Yeah, but
Super
you'd have to double it up in order to get that, because like, you know, the ankle is not thick enough for that. That's why I'm saying leg warmer and not armband, because it doesn't really work as an armband. The arm is not big enough, or at least mine's not.
That is true. Okay, Ty, what about you?
I was going to say armband because I have a fat enough arm for that to work. I would probably use it maybe like as an elbow pad. So that way, like in a physical challenge, I could like use it, you know, like elbow, like maybe put like a coconut shell inside of the elbow pad, and then just be like, boom, take a shot in, you know. I mean, WrestleMania was just a few days ago, so it's still fresh in my head. You know, I'm just thinking like more
Very
object.
strategic.
Speaking of R.I.P. Ultimate Warrior, one of my childhood heroes, has died. Pretty depressed about it. I assume that's why Colin's not here, because he's from the South, and the South loves their wrestling. But yes, elbow pad.
Okay. Steven, what about you?
Neck band, because my neck gets sunburned really easily, and I don't want that out there to worry about that. So I'm already pale enough as is, so I'd like to keep it that way.
Okay. What about you, Jack?
I think my butt may be too big for the skirt, so I can't do that.
It is too big.
I probably wear it as along like my hairline as like a hairband, or on my elbow like Boston Rob, is it like a little triangle thing?
And Patrick.
I would use it as on my head just because it'd be practical to keep the sweat out of my eyes.
Mm-hmm. I noticed no one said that they would use it as like an arm sling for a broken arm.
No one's planning on thinking of it.
I don't think anyone's planning on that.
Yeah, because I remember James in Heroes vs. Villains with his knee wrap buff.
Oh.
Like, it has happened before, I'm saying, basically.
They're just so versatile, and that's why I was inspired to.
Well, Shamar, he should have just put it over his eye and used it like an eye patch.
Yeah. That's true.
Yes!
Oh my god.
Although, as someone with horrible eyes...
I'm sorry, Lusan, like the Brain Tribe, could have been, like, pulling their buffs over their eyes and, like, team practices for the challenges and, like, practice being blind and beating the blind.
I think that tribe already was the blind leading the blind.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Now, on to our next segment. Tonight we have Jack doing our power rankings, so I'm going to give the floor to him. And these are the contenders to win.
Contenders to win. Alright, this is a very rough list. I didn't do much research or research.
He doesn't mean that. That's a
Did you watch the episode?
completely devoted to the podcast. Mind, body, and soul.
Okay, so In my number one spot for contenders.
Oh, wait, no. We start from the bottom. Now
Start
we're
from
here.
the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah.
Okay, I have Cass as, like, numero uno loser. Comments or
Yes, a short comment will suffice.
wait, comments from the crowd or comments
No,
from
like
me?
comments from you.
I just think she's
Explain why
incredible.
you think.
I think she's like, if I was on an island, I would hate this woman.
I already
Because
do hate her.
so, she doesn't have any emotions, and she acts so, she's just so passive aggressive, but doesn't raise her voice, so it's hard. You want to get angry at her, but she doesn't get angry back, so it's extremely frustrating.
There's something about her personality that just is unlikable. Maybe it's she's smug.
Really? The
Very
fact that
smart.
she behaves like a jealous cunt all of the time.
I
I think that might have something to do with her being unlikable.
yeah.
So, you know.
Okay,
Maybe it's the way she casually brags about using legal techniques that are frowned
Here's the
upon
thing.
by the vast
Here's the
majority
thing.
of the
You
legal
can't-
establishment.
You want to know why it's frowned upon? I work in a fucking law office. You have to share discovery. You can't really like ambush people like on Law and Order with their witnesses and all that sort of business. So when she said that, I was just thinking, yeah, I would imagine that most of your colleagues do think that's poor form because you could get disbarred for it. You stupid bitch. God, she's terrible.
Well, she said
So
she wears
terrible.
cheap suits to throw people off, but I just think she's a bad attorney.
Yeah, she's
can't
probably
afford
not a
these
very
suits.
good attorney. There's probably a reason that she had to go on Survivor to make her money.
I would
An
not.
actual attorney might be doing
I
better.
would not be giving her
Unless
a
their
call.
name is Ted, in which case they would not be doing better. Ever. Ever.
okay, after Cass, I have Jeremiah. Okay, Jeremiah, he's in the minority. He does not seem very intelligent. And it doesn't seem like anyone is trying to, like, swoon Jeremiah or he's trying to swoon anyone else to get further in this game. I think he's just sitting until he gets voted out, and he's not going to make the end.
We'll know when he's going to get the boot when he gets the first confessional of an episode.
Yep.
It's true.
When he starts talking, he's dead.
Yeah.
Okay, next I have Tasha. I also find Tasha incredibly annoying, despite people being a fan of hers.
Why do you dislike Tasha, out of curiosity? I mean, I'm
Just
neutral
seems-
towards her.
I'm a fan of Tasha.
She also seems like very smug. And I remember at points, like when she was on the Brains tribe, she was telling Spencer, like, oh yeah, if you lose, you're going home. She was just, I don't know, I don't like her. And I think she's in the minority. People see her as a physical threat, so she's not going to make the end due to people not wanting her to be there. Next, I have Trish, who I think has a very high chance of making the end due to not being that threatening, but still being in the inner circle with people like Wu and Tony who would want to bring her there. But I don't see herself, like her winning.
I could see her
Majority
third
of jury
place
votes.
perfectly.
Yeah, she's Sherry, without question.
Yeah,
Sherry,
I
Well,
definitely
no, I like
think that-
Sherry. I can't.
Sherry played way better. I think Sherry.
Oh,
played
sure,
way
Sherry
better.
played well. I was talking about like leathery
Oh.
skin.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Sherry looked pretty. Sherry almost looked like Sandra Bullock. She looked decent for. She definitely did not look like a horse. I'm sorry, Sherry. I apologize.
No, I'm
I
just defending
apologize.
Sherry's game, but she had an awful, awful final tribal council. But
Yeah,
You can sit down.
yeah. All right, Jack, continue.
Next I have Jeffra, who is similar to Trish in the fact that she has a good chance of making the end, but I think Jeffra has a better chance at winning jury votes, not because she's like a better strategist or player, it's just Trish, as we've seen, can come off very harsh when she was yelling at Lindsay and other people in the past. So I think Jeffra's more of a nice person and people get along with her, but I don't see her winning votes based on strategy or gameplay. Next, I have Tony, who is playing like really hard, and he's just having a lot of fun when he's playing. He's the type of person that goes on Survivor and he makes a big move just to make a big move because he's on Survivor, and why the hell not? So I could see that biting him in the ass, and we sort of see a little bit of that in the preview when he's talking about, I need to get rid of Wu. Got to strike before he strikes me. And everyone else is like, Tony's freaking out. What is he doing? Like, come on, Tony, get your head straight. Next, I have Spencer, who I don't know. I hope Spencer can make it far and maybe win. I don't know if he has he's definitely not my number one pick to win, just for the fact that he's in the minority and people have said oh, if Spencer didn't win this challenge, then we would have voted for him. But he's got this idol that no one that we know of knows about. So
if he can maneuver his way to the final three, I think he's got a good shot.
Yeah, if he makes the final tribal, I think he has a very good chance of winning. After that, I have Wu, who is well liked by nearly everyone, which bodes well for him, and also is a diminishing factor because he could end up like Brenda, where everyone likes that person and they realize that everyone likes them, and that's why they need to get him out.
Of course, you bring Brenda into the mix.
That's into Wu. And number one, I have LJ, who, as we see as a viewer, has the best shot at winning, but no one else in the game really understands how much of a threat LJ is.
LJ!
And I think that's because there are much bigger characters than him. He's very relaxed and not...
He's very subdued.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, he's playing a really good game.
Silent type.
That's a strong silent type. So, he's not...
Unless they're talking about,
drawing
and all that
the biggest
sort of
target on him.
I could see LJ being the type, almost like Malcolm, to where people will catch on and realize, hey, we can't bring this guy to the finals and get dumped at 4 and take someone like Trish over him, you know?
Yeah, I think if people are smart,
but who's outsmarting?
Well, with this season, true.
Yeah, he's going to win, because if he doesn't win... I mean, the only person that could possibly do that is Wu, but Wu is not conniving, because Tony's not going to beat him, Trish isn't going to win, Jeffra can't win if he's there. I mean, the only way Jeffra would probably... I'm sorry, I'm derailing Jack, I'm sorry. But yeah.
No worries. Overall summary on LJ, he's playing the best game, people don't realize he's playing the best game, and I think that is boding well for him because there are other people taking the spotlight off of him.
And that's well
Tony is a great meat shield.
Let's talk about Tony and just quickly get to the next episode, the preview, and Tony scrambling, saying we need to vote out Wu, and are there cracks in this alliance? What's going on?
Meat Shield's going crazy.
I really hope something switches out for next episode. Tide, do you see them cracking?
I think the cracks start. I think they start talking about it. I still think either Spencer or Jeremiah goes next round, but I could see... I mean, they're going to break up before the end, but I don't think the actual action happens next episode, because it doesn't make sense for any of them to do this now while you've got 2 possible physical threats still there. They've got to get rid of Jeremiah or Spencer before they're turning on each other, I would think, logically.
Alicia, who do you think is the next to go?
I'm gonna say Tasha.
Okay.
Because they were already kind of leaning towards her this time, and I don't really care for her, so she can go.
Any chance for an idol being played?
That is entirely possible, but I don't know.
Okay.
The preview didn't give me enough to, say I.
Alex, who's next to go?
I think it's somebody who is currently in a power position because there's Cass, who has shown at least some indication that she might flip, and there's Wu, who I'm amazed that we have gone 2 episodes in the merge without anybody bringing up that he's a very likely candidate for 5th out of the 5 because of what happened before the merge. So there's instability there, and crucially, there is a 6-on-3. There's a 6-on-3 alliance count now, which means that Tony or somebody in the majority might get the idea to try to split votes, and if there's a vote split, then shit could get real.
Okay, interesting. Jack, who's next to go?
Part of me wants to say Tony, but I don't see how the votes would fall unless it involves Spencer idling someone. I think his time is coming. I think he's going to be in the next couple weeks. Tony goes, and Cass, who knows what, is probably going to flip like 3 times for the next 2 episodes. Because she can, and she's going with her gut, and that's Cass. So,
and to round it up, Steven.
Personally, I'd like to see Tony go, but I'm fearing for my girl Tasha. I'm hoping she pulls it out, but I'm worried about her. So,
Yeah. I want to see someone get idle out. I want to see Tony go. So that's my pick.
Easily.
All right. I think any extra thoughts about the season, about the players? Anyone?
It's been a very enjoyable season, as I think we say it almost every week.
I think it has. I think these players are really bad, but it's made.
It's like a Gabon-esque thing where everyone just really sucks at the game, but that's part of what makes it so fun.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, I think like they're all. None of them are very good, but we've had some really interesting moments, like the last episode, the Tribal Council. That was nuts, but. Yeah, it's had its ups and downs, but these players are definitely not good.
They're entertaining.
They are entertaining.
This is what happens when This is what happens when you don't have a whole bunch of like returning players coming in and like knowing what the fuck to do to start with.
That's true.
Chaos happens. It's not just Cass. It's all of them. I'm not feeding into that terrible fucking hashtag. It's just stupid.
The only hashtag I like is hashtag Morgan's boobs.
I like Morgan's boobs and I like Chaos Cass, so
you would.
Alright, well, I think we've run a little bit long, so I think we have to go, but thank you all for listening and have a good night.
Run a little long, just like Trish's face.